Thank you. All right. All right. This is my first time at New Tech Seattle. I wanted to just thank these awesome guys. This is such a great event. Let's put our hands together for them. This is just so great. This has been just so cool. I'm Alex. I'm from eBay. I want to talk to you today about this idea of melding humans and machines for fun and profit. So there's two groups that really don't like each other almost in every field. And I wanted to give you an example of that in digital publishing. There's the artists, and then there's the quants. So the artists are folks like New York Times. What they will do is their curator, their journalist will do an amazing job because of their gut, because of their skill, because of their talent. They will create an amazing, inspiring story. And the judgment of the executive editor is just golden. But they can put out a dozen of these stories a day. They can't do thousands or tens of thousands. The other side, there's the quants. And a great example of the quants are folks called ehow.com. You might have landed on that content when you searched for something like how to remove gum from jeans. And it's a sort of a tail query, and you land on that story, and there's a bunch of ads all around, and the story isn't particularly engaging. Well, folks at eHow, what they do is they came up with amazing algorithms to predict how much traffic there's going to be on that specific query over the course of the next 3 years. They calculated that there's going to be $7 that they're going to make from AdSense, and they're going to pay somebody $5 to write that story. And then they multiply that by 10 million. Pretty cool, right? Except that that content isn't that engaging. It doesn't inspire loyalty. It doesn't make you want to go back and say, what does eHow have to say today? So on the one side, you have the New York Times with really inspiring stuff. And on the other side, you have the quants who really know how to make money and how to predict and how to scale. And they really don't like each other. I want to talk to you about how eBay used to do email marketing, and that's sort of some examples of the campaigns that you'd get, and all of them are really different. And eBay comes from really merchant roots, artist roots. Marketers would create these custom, beautiful campaigns one at a time, painstakingly, hundreds of them every month. Very different across regions, very different across verticals. eBay comes from the artist side. But then how do you scale this? How do you do inspiration at scale? That was the problem that we were trying to solve. Now, there's some inertia. eBay's 20 years old today. And this cruise ship is making $5 billion in free cash flow every year. This is from last year's financials. So this model is working really well, and yet we want to scale this inspiration. We want to be far more personalized than an artist can be. How do we do that? How do we marry the art and the science? And we launched this program earlier this year, this idea of a digest. This idea that the art creates the components, and those components are put together by the machine that knows what is relevant for each of the customers. On the left is an example of somebody who's more into fashion. On the right side, somebody who's more into home goods, perhaps. And you'll notice that each of the components is this beautifully defined creative. But which components are selected? That's the job for a machine learning model. So I want to think of this idea of melding human and machine, this idea that humans are amazing at creative work, and machines are really what can do personalization at scale. That when you're sending out an email, you don't blast 5 million people with the same beautifully crafted but identical mail. You send 5 million very different, personalized mails, and every one of them contains the art inside of it. So eBay Seattle is 350 strong, and we do marketing technologies and machine learning and a bunch of other stuff. Thank you. Any questions? Please. What do we use for email marketing and automation? Since we're sending out 100 million emails every day, we have a custom-built system. Please. Did our engagement and conversions grow as a result of doing this digest program? Absolutely. So when you send out 5 million identical emails, no matter how good of a job you do in your manual targeting, a statistical model that hand selects every component absolutely does better, and our click-through rates and our open rates show it.
Alex.
Please.
Hasn't this been done before?
Hasn't this been done before? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hasn't this been done before at scale? Hasn't this been done before at other companies? Is that the question? So absolutely. You will see folks like Amazon, for example, be all the way on the side of the quants, for example, right? Where they're able to predict the one precise element, the one precise product that, that might be interesting for you. But they're a little bit far on the quant side. We're trying to stay between, or we're trying to add both the art and the science to it, thus doing really the inspiration at scale. That creative piece is what we're trying to do in a unique way.
One more question?
Please. What's the future? I'd say that the future is finding some nice combination, some nice middle between art and science, and doing that across channels in every interaction with a customer, where a human makes the creative and a machine personalizes and delivers it through the right channel at the right time, exactly what you want today. Cool. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex.